play on the markets as we go forward. We can cross now live to FXTM market analyst Han Tan. Han, thanks so much for joining us. Tell me, first of all, once again, this ongoing China-US trade spat seems to be having a major impact on the markets. And on that situation, things look to be actually getting worse rather than better.
That's right. Look, investors had been eagerly anticipating some form of positive developments at the high-level trade talks in Washington later this week, only to be met with events from recent days that point to an escalation in US-China tensions. So market sentiment is already tense as it is. So if these recent events that you alluded to earlier, if they raise new points of conflict beyond just trade differences, then I think that could make a meaningful reconciliation between the US and China that much harder to come by. I think, long story short, if this trade spat goes on for longer, it's only going to mean more pain for the global economy.
Yeah, worrying developments there. And another ongoing story that's still having effects around the world is the Brexit negotiations. We've seen the British pound fall to its lowest level in over a month, and that, being seen across the globe.
Right. So Brexit uncertainties are just adding to the downside risks that global investors are contending with. Look, we are, 3 weeks out from that October 31st deadline, and we still cannot yet fully rule out a no-deal Brexit. So as long as that remains on the table, I think the pound will maintain its bias towards the downside.
And of course, all of this, Han, coming as the new head of the IMF, says that really we are facing the potential of a massive global slowdown.
And that's right. So it's imperative that policymakers around the world step in to try and support their respective domestic economies. And we have seen that, to be fair, from the central bankers around the world who have eased their policy settings. We have seen fiscal support measures like that big corporate tax cut in India. But I think the question for investors is whether all that is enough in order to offset these external headwinds, which look set to extend into 2020. I think more will need to be done if these global trade tensions continue for longer.
OK, we'll have to leave it at that for now. But thanks indeed for joining us, Han Tan there, market analyst at FXTM. Well, let's turn our attention now to the international newspapers. And there's a lot of focus